Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You are at the Washington Council for High School College Relations Virtual College Planning Day, powered by StriveScan. My name is Sabel Rasim. Once again, you are at the Washington Council for High School College Relations Virtual College Planning Day. If you're just joining us, welcome. If this is your first session, welcome. Wherever you're joining us from, just welcome and thank you for joining. A couple things before we get started. We obviously have some absolutely amazing institutions here to tell you a little bit about themselves. And we have about 30 to 40 minutes on the clock here. So before we get started, a couple different housekeeping items. You're going to want to ask questions, and you absolutely should. We encourage them. Use that Q&A button in your Zoom toolbar to ask those questions and type them in at any point in time to the presenters. I stress at any point in time because we will not be having a live Q&A with attendee questions at the very end. So it's important that you get those questions in, again, at any point in time throughout the virtual day. With that said, also, please do me a favor and go ahead and put the institution's name within the question so we all know who the question goes to, and it makes it more efficient that way. Also, the panelists cannot see or hear you. You're muted and your video is turned off. So again, it's really important that you use that Q&A to interact with us. But also, fun fact, your chat, it is disabled on your end, so you really can't interact back and forth, but the presenters could be putting some great information in the chat. So it's really important that if you see notification in the chat, go ahead and click on it and check it out. Also, sign up for more sessions. This is one out of many, many college presentations that are offered, so go ahead and sign up for the next session, the next time slot. But if you, for whatever reason, want to relive the fun with us today, or maybe mom, grandma, dad, whoever missed out on today's sessions, it's okay because you all can watch the recording within the next few business days. All these sessions are being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/WASH Council. I will also share that link with you again at the very end, so it's okay if you don't have that down, but it is the same page that you registered for this session. All right, without further ado, I'd love to get started. Our first institution up for today's session is Gonzaga University.
Hey all, my name's Nate Manader. I am an Associate Director here at Gonzaga, and so happy to be chatting about Gonzaga with y'all. Yeah, feel free to ask questions along the way. I will probably get to them after the session or after the presentation, but I'll get started now. All right, I'm hoping y'all can see my screen. We are Gonzaga University. We are a Jesuit Catholic university located here in Spokane, Washington. We've got about 5,500 undergraduate students, so a nice medium-sized school. A lot of times people ask, you're a Catholic school, do I have to be Catholic? Absolutely not. Most of our students, in fact, come from different faith backgrounds than that of Catholicism. We'll jump into kind of just who we are. So first and foremost, we need to get you the best academic training that we possibly can. We have a focus on academic excellence. We need you to be excellent in whatever field it is that you're interested in going into. We've got 75 different programs of study. All of our classes are taught by professors, so you will never have a TA teaching your course. It's about learning by doing, this idea of contemplatives in action. We reflect on what we know, and then we apply what we learn from that reflection. So you're going to do internships and research and project-based learning. It's a very, very active learning environment. But if all you are at the end of your 4 years at Gonzaga is a great doctor or a great engineer or a great nurse or a great teacher or a great accountant, we failed you, because that's not enough. It's a holistic education at Gonzaga. We need to develop you as leaders. We call our campus the Leadership Lab. Our students are really, really involved on our campus. They learn how to be leaders. They learn about other cultures. They learn how to interact with people who are different than them, and that's a really, really important thing. We need you, after you graduate from Gonzaga, to lead this world, lead this country, lead your business, your family, and to learn that leadership. We want you to do that leadership on campus. But again, if all you are is a leader and great in your field, we failed you. Everything that we do is focused on this idea of being people for and with others. What are we doing every single day to help those that have been marginalized by society? How can we make positive social change in this world? That's our focus. That's what we're trying to do as a university. We're located here in Spokane. This is our campus down here. The Spokane River runs on the south edge, and then downtown Spokane's just on the other side. Spokane's the second largest city in the state of Washington. We've got over 800,000 people in the metro area. The weather is a little bit different in Spokane and central and eastern Washington than it is over on the west side. So a lot more sunshine. We get snow in the winter. We're up here in the mountains a little bit. So we've got 5 ski resorts within an hour-and-a-half drive, awesome mountain biking, rock climbing, all of that stuff. But Spokane is a city, great internship opportunities, great employment opportunities. So it's a big enough city to have what you want out of a city, but it's also small enough that it's really easy to interact with and get and make great impact within. So who are ZAGs? Just know that our ZAGs are coming from all over the country. They're coming from all different faith backgrounds, race, religion, gender identities, sexual orientations, whoever it is that you are, however it is that you identify, we want you to feel safe on campus. We want you to feel supported on campus, and you're necessary to this campus life. I love that over 83% of our students come from over 200 miles away. Just about everybody on campus is from somewhere else, and what that means is our students don't commute to campus. They live here, they play here, they get to be a part of this amazing community, and that's really what drives them here to GU. 99% of our students receive some sort of scholarship or financial aid, so we can make Gonzaga affordable for you. We've got over 5,200 undergraduate students, so it's a nice medium size. It's big enough to have some of those really great opportunities, the Division I sports and the spirit that comes with that, the national name recognition, but it's small enough, right? Your average class size is 22. 100% of your classes are taught by professors. We're really, really proud of our outcomes. Our students, they graduate in 4 years. They find work after they graduate. They find a home. They retain between their freshman and sophomore year. And the big reason is because you get that nice small class sizes. Also, our faculty, they're nationally known as some of the best teachers in the entire country. We're ranked 17th of all national institutions in the entire country for our faculty's ability to teach and support students. Really, really strong. From an application perspective, we try and make this as easy as we can to apply. It's a December 1st application. The Common App is how you apply, so we only have one application. We only have one application deadline. Go to gonzaga.edu/apply for some more information on that. You can see some of our averages. Keep in mind we're test optional, right? Whether you have an SAT or an ACT, you can apply. There is literally every single program on campus, every scholarship opportunity. It is similar for test optional students or students who submit their test score. Generally speaking, right, if at Gonzaga, if you're below these, just don't apply with your test score. It doesn't, if you don't feel like it represents who you are, don't submit it, and we're totally fine there. We want to meet you, we want to interact with you, and so know that there are a ton of great ways to do that here at Gonzaga. In fact, coming up on Saturday, we've got a virtual preview day where you get to meet our current students, meet our faculty, meet our admissions staff. We're there to just kind of help you get to know Gonzaga a little bit better. From a scholarship and financial aid perspective, we use the FAFSA. For those of you who can't file the FAFSA, we also have the WASFA as well as a needs analysis form. So you would apply. There's also some application-based scholarships that you can apply to by January 1st. Average financial aid package is $34,000 a year. 99% of our students receive some sort of scholarship and financial aid. I understand when you're looking at private school, it can be a scary thing. How do I afford that? Well, there's so much scholarship and financial aid. In fact, for our students, college-bound students, Pell-eligible students, so our lower-income students, Gonzaga has a full tuition scholarship for all of those students. So we are committed to making this work for our in-state students. We have academic programs all over the board. There's a College of Arts and Sciences. Popular majors over here are going to be our social sciences like psychology, sociology, criminology, our health sciences, so biology, biochemistry, chemistry, pre-med, pre-dent. We've got a medical school on campus in partnership with the University of Washington. We also have great communications programs like broadcast studies, public relations, journalism. So you're going to find what you're interested in majoring at Gonzaga. Great research opportunities, great internship opportunities, opportunities to apply what you're learning outside of the classroom. We have a really strong business school, consistently ranked one of the 10 best business schools in the entire country. Our students have great internship opportunities, project-based learning opportunities. Our accounting program is ranked in the top 10 of all accounting programs in the entire country. Really, really strong business school. Those of y'all who want to go into education, we have teacher certification programs, we have special education major, community culture and language major. This is where our sports management major is as well, including our kinesiology and our physical education major. So those of y'all who want to get into the field of education, Gonzaga's got really, really strong programs. School of Engineering and Applied Sciences, we're consistently ranked the top 25 undergraduate engineering program in the entire country. This is home to our computer science program as well. Great internships, research opportunities. We're in the midst of building a brand new integrated science and engineering facility. This will be done this October. So for those of y'all who are juniors, sophomores, first-year students, y'all are going to come into this building being wide open. We also have a really, really strong nursing and human physiology program. For those of you all interested in nursing, it is a direct admit program, so you have to apply directly to it as you're applying to the university. Human physiology is a great program for those of you all interested in physical therapy, occupational therapy. It can be used as pre-med, pre-dent. So really, really strong research opportunities available there. And then just know studying abroad is a really popular option here at Gonzaga. So our students have that opportunity. We have our own campus over in Florence, Italy. We make it affordable to study abroad. We make it so that your scholarships go with you to these programs, and you pay the same tuition and fees for these programs. So it costs the same to study abroad from an educational perspective as it does for you to study on campus. Anywho, feel free to ask questions. I'm here to answer them. I will stop sharing my screen and hand it off to the next presenter.
All right, awesome. If you have any questions for this institution, Gonzaga University, please put it in the Q&A. Next up, we have the Evergreen State College.
Greetings, everybody. My name is Carl Forbes, and I am the Associate Director of Admission for the Evergreen State College in Olympia. I'm glad that you guys are here to join us. Hopefully you guys can see my screen. And let me present to you, please, and introduce you to the Evergreen State College. We were founded in 1967. However, we didn't begin operations until 1971. And for those of you who are astute in math, we are now in 2021, which is 50 years. So we're in our 50 years of operation. We're really excited about that. Now is a great time to join the Evergreen State College family as we celebrate the last 50 years of our existence and the next 50 years. So really, really a great time to be on campus, except for the fact that there's a global pandemic and no one's on campus. But that hopefully by the fall, we'll be back to normal. We've all got our fingers crossed, I'm sure. We are one of 6 public institutions in the state of Washington, and one of only 29 liberal arts public institutions around the entire country. So we're in a really unique group. We are part of the colleges that change lives. Our campus is, as you see in the picture there, our campus is a wooded wonderland. Over 1,000 acres on campus. Only about 250 acres are developed. So the rest of it is unspoiled wilderness with trails that lead right up to the beach and things like that. So it's really a beautiful place to be, really serene. And your classroom, if you're an environmental studies student, is right outside the door. So that part is really cool. I did not attend Evergreen, however. I joined Evergreen in 2018. So I've only been at Evergreen for about 2.5 years. So as I talk about the Evergreen State College, I talk about it from the view of a person who has never seen anything like this type of education before. It is definitely the differentest place that I've ever seen. And I've worked at different colleges, and I've also worked as a consultant for different colleges around the country. And it is the differentest place. And I'm going to tell you why. With just a few things. There's lots of reasons why Evergreen is unique, but here are just a few. First off, number one, Evergreen does not make you choose a major at all at any point in your experience. So that means there's no list of courses that you have to take in order to graduate from Evergreen. There are choices that you have to make, and you do have to go through and follow some rules. But for the most part, you get to take the courses that you want to take, the courses that interest you, the courses that speak to your passions. That's what you get to do at Evergreen. Um, you do have to make a choice whether you want to get a Bachelor of Arts or a Bachelor of Science degree. If you take a Bachelor of Science degree, you are required to take math and science, or you can also do computer science as part of that. And you see on the screen in front of you how you qualify for a Bachelor of Science degree. There are some students that come to Evergreen never wanting to ever take a math course ever again in their lives, and you can do that at Evergreen, and you can get a Bachelor of Arts. So lots of students get Bachelor of Arts, but that's just one example. The second thing that's really unique about Evergreen is that you have a really simple schedule. At a typical or conventional college, you take several courses, 3, 4, 5 courses, and you're forced to figure out how these courses relate to each other. But at Evergreen, we don't do it that way. At Evergreen, your subjects are all wrapped up into one course. So if you take a look at the screen here, what you see here, all of your studies in this particular example here, geography, visual art, natural history, native studies, are all wrapped up into one multi-subject interdisciplinary course that's probably team taught by 2 or 3 different faculty members. So our mascot is the gooey duck. The gooey duck is a large burrowing clam that we find near our shores. And one of the things that's really distinctive about this gooey duck, besides its size, is that when it's threatened by predators, it can dig really fast and dig really deep. And in these programs, these courses that you take, you get into it really quickly and you dig really deep as you look at different subjects and topics from a variety of different viewpoints. You're in one class at a time. It's a full-time program. So it's usually 16 credits, which means 16 hours a week. But it's not all lecture. So that's important for you to know too. Me, I'm an auditory learner and I learn really well from lecture, but I also like a little diversity. And what happens in classes, some of the days are set up as lecture days. Some of the meetings are going to be seminar. Seminar is when you read the material and then you're able to come in and have conversations about that. And some people learn really well that way, that they synthesize that information better that way. Some people work better hands-on and want to create things as part of their class. We have workshops that are set up in each course. Some people work better in the field or learn better in the field, and so we have field trips that are set up. And that's a big part of what happens at Evergreen, whether it's a field trip downtown to another state or even another country. And some of our courses actually end up turning into a study abroad and taking you around the globe. Some of our students work better individually in the lab type setting if you're a science student, or in the studio if you're an art student. And so that is also set up for you. And then there's some students that work better cooperatively, and sometimes you're going to be working in groups while you're in your classes. So we have these different modes of instruction to appeal to different learners. A quick vocabulary lesson for you. At Evergreen, our multi-subject interdisciplinary courses are actually called programs on campus. So if you were to go to a student that's on our campus and say, hey, what program are you in? They're not going to talk about their overarching thematic grouping of the coursework that they've taken. What they're going to do is they're going to talk about the individual program that they're in right now, what they're studying right now. So that gives students a real sense of what's happening around them in the present. But if you ask them what they're studying at Evergreen, they'll give you usually a description of what's going on in their lives and what they're studying. But we do have individual courses because medical schools can be really prescriptive about what they want students to take in order to get into medical school. So we do have those individual courses for students who need those individual things, like a med school application or students who are coming part-time and stuff like that. So we have that available too. We do have individual learning contracts. I'm going to talk about that next. And then we also have internships where you're able to show what you know, apply what you've learned, and that kind of thing in the work environment as you're developing yourself and getting ready for your professional life. But I want to focus in on individual learning contracts really quickly, just to tell you what those are. That's an opportunity for you to really dig deep and study something that you really want, but that's not available at Evergreen. So for example, let's say a student was taking, and this is a real example, by the way, not something that I'm making up off the top of my head. Student was taking human ecology and sociology and anthropology and wanted to study more about their own indigenous background, being from Samoa. Again, this is all really true. A student can work with their faculty to create a program where they write learning objectives, figure out how much credit this study is worth, and then they can go ahead and study that, do the work, and get the credit. You can do it as a full-time. The student that I'm thinking about in my head as I tell you about this actually did it as a study abroad full-time, and was able to travel to Samoa and study the indigenous heritage of the people of Samoa and her own family background while she was there. So so you're only limited by your creativity when you think about individual learning contracts. The next thing is really unique about Evergreen is the fact that we have no letter grades. So that means if you think about what an A or a B or a C, what that actually means in terms of what you know and what you're able to do, it doesn't tell you much, but a narrative evaluation gives you the opportunity to really explore what it is that you know, what you did well, and how your performance compared to your learning objectives. So your faculty evaluates you, you evaluate yourself, and you write evaluation, and then you also evaluate your faculty. So there's a constant loop of communication and evaluation going on. Just to talk about your application really quickly, Evergreen has its own application. We also are on the common application. There is a $50 application fee. You do have the opportunity to apply test optional. If you apply test optional, it's important to know that your personal statement, your essay, is going to be required, even if your scores aren't. If you just do a traditional application where you're submitting scores, your essay is optional. That's the end of my presentation. I thank you all for joining us here at the Evergreen State College. And now I'm going to turn it over to the next person. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you so much. If you have any questions for this institution, the Evergreen State College, go ahead and please put it in the Q&A. Next up, we have Cascadia College.
Hello, hello. So my name is Nina. So I'm super excited to be connecting with you all today to give you a bit of information about Cascadia College. So again, my name is Nina. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a program coordinator in outreach. And I also was a student at Cascadia where I got my associate's degree and then transferred over to UW Basel where I'm finishing up my bachelor's degree. So also joining us today is Mima for support. She's monitoring your questions in the Q&A. So if you have any questions, go ahead and she can answer those for you. So just to give a quick overview, Cascadia College is part of the Washington Community and Technical College system. We are located in Bothell, and our campus is co-located with the University of Washington, Bothell. We are separate institutions with separate instructional buildings, but the great thing about this co-location is that we get to share a lot of great resources with them. Also, our class size average is about 24 students per class, so that really gives you a closer opportunity to connect with your professors and your fellow classmates. We are also a transfer specialist, meaning that we are mainly focused on getting you transferred to a four-year university after completing your associate's degree. So I'll go over these things a little bit later on in the presentation. So first, even though most of our resources are currently online, we really want to emphasize that we're still here just in an online environment. And we really want to help you stay focused on your educational goals. So basically to get started, first you'll want to apply for admissions, which is free. So there is no application fee. And there are no GPA or test score requirements, so no need to share your SAT or ACT scores if you don't want to. You can apply at any time throughout the year, so as soon as even today if you wanted to. After you apply for admissions, we would look at your transcripts, or you can take the AccuPlacer to determine your placement in English and math. Next, we encourage you to apply for financial aid, which would be the FAFSA or the WASFA, as well as the Aroha Emergency Grant Fund that we have, which can help with up to $500 of support per quarter for educational needs. And lastly, you'll sign up for an orientation and registration session, which is called CORE, and that's where staff will help you get ready and register for your classes. And after you're registered, you'll want to pay tuition before the tuition deadline. And as for cost for Cascadia, the tuition and fees for Washington State residents are about $4,452 per year if you are a full-time student. And that adds up to be just under $1,500 per quarter. We have virtual services as well, and they are through Zoom and email currently, which are listed on our website at cascadia.edu/virtual. So you can connect with us, the outreach team, enrollment services, admissions, advising. We also have disability support services available for students who need accommodations. So next, the Cascadia College Foundation Scholarship is something that we encourage all Cascadia students to apply for. Typically 1 in 3 applicants are awarded, so your chances are very high in getting some help with money for college. The deadline to apply for this year has already passed, but please keep a lookout for next year. The deadline is usually set in March. And you can check out all information on this at cascadia.edu/scholarships. So here's a list of the different programs and areas of interest that we have. As I mentioned, Cascadia is a transfer specialist. So we do focus on transfer degrees and getting you transferred to a university, which is something I ended up doing, and it worked out really well for me. We also have some professional and technical degrees that typically go right into the workforce. And we also have a couple of Bachelors of Applied Science 4-year degrees as well, if you were interested in those. So you can always check out our website or email us with any questions to find out more about our degrees. So a little bit about Running Start. We do offer Running Start, which is where you earn college credit as a high school student. So basically you would be considered a college student as well as a high school student. It would be tuition free. There are still some fees that Running Start students are responsible for, but it is free for tuition, which is great. And you must be a high school junior or senior to be in Running Start. So you can find out more information on our website. You can also email runningstart@cascadia.edu with any questions about specifically Running Start. So a little bit about student life and resources. There are so many ways to be involved as a Cascadia student. We have all sorts of clubs available for students to join, or you can even start your own new club. This is a really great way to stay connected with other students and make friends. We also are currently still hosting all kinds of fun events online where you can meet people and oftentimes get a chance to win fun prizes. There's also the opportunity to work in our student government if you're looking for a paid leadership role. So that's something to consider because it's a really great opportunity. And as I mentioned, we do share quite a few resources with UW Bothell since we're co-located with them. One of them is that if, as a Cascadia student, you would have access to the entire University of Washington library system, including the UW-Bothell Library that we have right on campus. We also share the Activities and Recreation Center, or the ARC, which we call it. So basically the top floor of this building is open for students to study. There's also the Health and Wellness Resource Center, which is located here, which is a one-stop hub connecting students with on-campus and community resources. And we also have a fitness center, which is free to students. So no like membership fees or anything like that. We also have intramural sports, which are held in our sports complex that we have. And one other thing I should mention that UW-Bothell offers us is counseling. So we do have a counseling center, which offers free counseling for Cascadia students. We also have the Kodiak Cave Food Resource Center, which is where students can get free groceries every week if needed. And we also have the Center for Culture, Inclusion, and Community. So this is an inclusive space for students, especially marginalized students, to reach out to. So really quick, we have something called College Goal Cascadia, which is an admission support program that we host each year. We're planning to do a one-stop event in May this year. You can also look forward to upcoming years if you are not going to be applying yet. You can look out for next year or something like that, but you can check this out at cascadia.edu/collegegoal. And something that we have recently started up is a new service or student service portal, and it's called CTC Link. So this is where you can get connected access to everything, basically your registration for classes, scheduling appointments with an academic advisor or financial aid advisor, tuition payment, and checking all your grades and everything is going to live right here on CTC Link. And so currently most of our classes are online due to COVID, but we do offer a few in-person classes right now for certain labs. We've been working with the state guidelines, and we're leading with safety as our forefront. We've also been working on a re-entry plan for when we get back to campus, and we do plan on having quite a few more in-person class options for fall of 2021. And so, yeah. Next, I want to just mention that we would love to talk with you. So if you ever need to reach out to us, ask any questions, we are available. You can email us at outreach@cascadia.edu, or you can drop into a Zoom visit with us. You can also check out our campus tour that we filmed back in March of last year. So you can check out all of these things at cascadia.edu/visit Cascadia. And yeah, so we are here to answer any questions you might have. This is our team here. So please reach out to us at outreach@cascadia.edu with any of your questions. And thank you so much. That is it for me. I'll give it up for Sibel.
Awesome. Thank you so much. If anyone has any questions for Cascadia College, please go ahead and put it in the Q&A now. Or I recommend, since we are kind of out of time at this point, go ahead and grab everyone's contact information or links that they put in the chat so that you can check them out afterwards. Please, at this point, my presenters, if you can join me via video, that would be fantastic. All right. I see your beautiful faces. Thank you. All right, everybody. I just want to thank you all, my presenters and panelists, for once again another absolutely amazing session. Thank you all so much for being here. My attendees, thank you for attending. This is just an appetizer. So this was just a little bit of a glimpse of these institutions. It is now up to you to take it a step further and check them out and do a deeper dive. Couple things before I head out. Go ahead and after you close out this window, check out our survey. It's a very quick 4-question survey. Just give us some feedback. We really do appreciate it. Also, we have another time slot happening in the next few minutes or so. So go ahead and sign up for more sessions if you are interested. And then again, if you would like to relive the fun, please check out the recording that'll be available within the next few business days at the link on your screen. With that said, thank you all again so much, and I hope you have a great day. Bye, everybody.
Take care, everybody.